of keywords should I be using? Where can I find it at? What are the best keywords? And now more than ever, if you've already merged your CreateSpace account over to KDP Print, you have to take advantage of how many keyword slots?
7.
7 keyword slots. We're going to talk about that today. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay
tuned.
Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale.
And Kelly.
And you're here, you're probably very excited about things, as I am too. We're going to be discussing keywords. But remember, if you want to learn a little bit more about publishing books that profit, as well as building an unstoppable brand, you've come to the right place. So, hey, those of you on the replay right now, give me just half a minute to say what's up to my live folks here, because every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime, that's Greenwich Mean Time -4, we're going to be right here. So you don't want to miss out on that. So live people, who all is in the house?
Oh, let's see. CV Interview Services, Ernest. Hello. Now let's start from
Ernest?
Let's start from the top. Mojo, what's going on? Mark Brownless. No, N. I don't know how to say your name. N. Chan.
I'm thinking Gozy.
Gozy. Okay. Gozy, what's up? Mojo, Mark Brownless.
I see Kathy Mankin. I see Knight Templar. Affiliate Marketing Dude is in the house. Marcus Campbell. You guys, anybody that's watching this, make sure you go over to YouTube and you got to look up Affiliate Marketing Dude. This guy's got high tier information and I love the guy. He's really awesome. We had a lot of fun with him over at Vid Summit.
You scared me.
Oh, sorry. I woke her up, guys. I woke her up. All right, so we're going to keep blazing forward. If you're new here, do me a favor. If you're watching this on the replay, hit #new inside the comments. Let us know that you're new and where you're coming from. And we're going to give you a shout out towards the end. Load us up with questions because we're going to talk about what are the best Kindle keywords for your books. Now, we're going to be looking at this in a global type view. So we're going to be talking about not only just keywords for Kindle, but we're going to be talking about books within your KDP account, ebooks or print books. So we've got 2 pros here. We're going to have a little bit of fun. Who's going to get a banana sticker is the question. And will Raw Dog show up tonight?
No.
You don't think he will?
No.
All right, so what exactly are keywords and how do they function?
You got to put them in because no one will find your stuff.
Okay. So keywords are descriptors for the content that you're putting out. And one of the best ways to say it is, listen, folks, keywords aren't just a single word. This was one of the biggest misconceptions, and it still is. A lot of people hear keyword, and some people think, oh, like, for instance, publishing is a keyword. That's great, but that's such a broad keyword. Keywords can be a string of 2 or more words in a row, and sometimes, you'll hear this every now and then, a long tail keyword. What's a long tail keyword, Kelly?
A keyword that is not short term.
Short with terms, if you will. So you're gonna have longer. It's gonna be a longer string of words.
And it might take a while. A long tail keyword is more of an evergreen niche. It's not necessarily a short term sell.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get context here. I've already kind of laid the groundwork. We're going to be talking about the 7 KDP keyword slots that are inside each one of your books. So be it ebook or it's print book, we're talking about the 7 keyword slots here. Yes, we could go into the whole book description and title, but we're just going to kind of keep ourselves hyper-focused in talking about those 7 KDP keyword slots. Is that good by you?
Sure.
All right, good stuff. Biggest misunderstandings. We were talking about this and we agree on most of these things, and I'm sure you guys know there's always that weird dynamic where Kelly will disagree with me and she'll tell you. All right, so here's the deal. A lot of people assume that if they find just the right keyword, they're going to get first page placement right out the rip. However, that's not true. You can do that, but here's the deal. Keywords are just a small portion of what gets you first page placement. You're going to need to build relevancy in Amazon store. So that means what builds relevancy? Keywords. What is your audience buying? Are they landing on your page? Are they landing on your page and buying or not buying? So many other factors. So here's the deal. First page placement, okay, it doesn't work every single time, so don't try to keep chasing after it. One of the things I recommend is stick and stay. If you find some good keywords that work for you, one of the best ways to get first page placement, get some sales. So,
I'm so worried about her.
yeah, by the way, folks, if you notice Kelly looking over to the right, our cat just got back from surgery. So,
And she's meowing.
if she's got to duck out at some point or another, it's probably because, our cat's wandering around. So anyway, sorry about that. Listen, keywords don't sell books, okay? It will get your book more discoverable. Now, this is something we both agree on, right? Keywords don't sell books.
They certainly help.
Yeah, they certainly help. So here's the thing. Sometimes Kelly will say she has some bowling shoe ugly covers and they sell and it doesn't matter what the keywords are. And the thing is ugly book covers is rather subjective. So at the end of the day, it's the right book cover for the audience that is searching. So you could have something that you're like, this is ugly, but if it's the keyword according to your audience and they buy it, then you can't argue with that. So all right, so next thing is, tell us about stuffing.
Putting non-related keywords into the same field that have nothing to do with your product.
Correct. Trying to just cram as much as you can. So there's a huge difference between a long tail keyword and just a keyword with a bunch of just jibber jabber. Just throwing in a bunch of stuff inside your keyword slot. You want to make sure that you load up your keyword slot with relevant information and you're not just cramming in one after the other. Some mistake, and I've seen this happen a few times, is this is an old practice. There used to be one keyword slot that you were allowed to have 7 keywords individually inside your one slot, and you would separate each one of them with a comma. Same thing kind of works over in CreateSpace right now with the 5 keywords, but that was the way it used to be in KDP. Well, I've seen some practices more recently that people were using commas in a single keyword slot. It does not work that way. Unfortunately, not anymore. So if you're going to utilize your keyword slot, utilize it to the maximum. Don't try to just cram in a bunch of other ones in there and add a comma in. It just does not work for searchability. All right, now that we got stuffing out of the way, this is Kelly's favorite one.
Don't overthink it. Keep it simple.
Yep, overthinking is one of the biggest misunderstandings. A lot of people think that, oh, well, if I grind it out, I'll be able to figure out what I need to do. But here's the thing is, how much time do you spend on keywords?
I do my research in keywords at the same time.
Yep. So that's the thing. And for me, I don't overthink it. I've got my own software that I enjoy, KDP Rocket. She just kind of goes on intuition and sometimes using something we're going to discuss here in a little bit. So, too broad or scattered. Okay, so here's the deal. If you go into KDP, you can Google search this up. Look up KDP keywords, and you should see something at kdp.amazon.com that gives you some information about choosing keywords and categories. And one of the things they'll suggest are certain keywords relevant to your niche. It's really kind of cool. It gives you good ideas, but unfortunately with one word, as I was saying, one broad word, it's going to get it to where you are a small fish in a big pond and you're going to get lost. So if you're in, say, for instance, the self-help genre, you're going to get smoked by the Tony Robbins of the world, the Eric Thomases, the Lewis Houses. You're going to really get stomped on if you try to use self-help as a keyword. If you long tail keyword though, you greatly increase your chances of discovery. Now, on the other end of things, scattered. It's going, well, my book is like this, and well, my book is like that, and oh, well, it's like this and like that, and you're putting like 7 keyword slots with so much all over the board. You're confusing Amazon's algorithm, otherwise called A9. Try to focus on your niche. Know your audience and how they're searching for you, and then you're gonna go in deep on something. Deep, deep, deep. Alrighty. Best practices. We like to talk about that. By the way, everybody say hi to my mom. She just popped in there. Hi, Mom. Kay Cox, it's good to see you in the house. Big heart and happy face. All right, I had to do the mom shout out. It's always great. Anybody that listens to any of my interviews, I usually say hi to mom. So, all right. So best practices, Kelly. There are some best practices. We agree on a lot of these things. Here's something as a fact said by KDP, and it's even in KDP University over on their YouTube channel. You can find this information. One of the things they say is if you're going to select keywords and fill in those 7 keyword slots, give it 72 hours to fully propagate before you go over and start changing it out, because you need to give the algorithm some time to say, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. This book is based on this. And so it's going to start to serve you to the audience based on your keyword choice. So use that 72-hour window wisely. I see some people that will go in every 24 hours and they're going, why am I not getting any sales? First of all, A, you're wasting your time. And B, you need to give it at least a few days. For me, when I change out a keyword, I give it 30 days. I try to give it a full month before I go, okay, this ain't quite working. And then I'll change out one at a time. So that's really one of the best practices I'd recommend. And this is something that's recommended by Amazon KDP. So here we go. Kelly, tell me about the 2 to 3 words per string.
2 to 3 words per string. I don't know what else to say about that. Because sometimes it's necessary to do 4 or 5.
Right, yeah. So we're saying as a minimum, you need to shoot for 2 to 3 words per string. We kind of discussed this at the very beginning.
Instead of, if you all are doing fitness books, be more specific. What type of fitness books are you doing? Let's see, what can I think of? Tabata fitness for young adults.
Great. You see that long tail
that is
keyword?
Very niched down.
It's super niched down, and the nice thing is the more you can niche down to the audience that you're trying to deliver to, the more likely you're going to get sales. It's going to increase because, first of all, you're drawing a line in the sand and you're telling people that aren't young adults in that particular instance. So let's say, for instance, I'm looking for a fitness book. I want to have a Tabata workout, and I'm like, oh, I want to go ahead and check it out. And I search up such and such for men over 40. And if I'm served a book that's based on young adults, I'm going to pass. So I'm not buying that book, and I'm not, getting something that's not appropriate to me. So you could see that when a young adult was searching for it, they find that. They go, well, this is possibly for me. So they'll go ahead and purchase that. So as a minimum, try to utilize 2 to 3 words per keyword string. So string of keywords, make sure 2 or 3 or more. Sometimes, and keep in mind, each one of your 7 keyword slots, you can have up to 50 characters. Am I correct? So 50 characters, it's including spaces in each one of those. And remember, commas are not necessary. All right. Before we do move on to this, by the way, if you ever use quotations, gonna have to use the air quotes here, folks. Do the air quotes. It's the self-publishing books handshake. If you ever use quotes, by the way, that is an exact keyword match. So if you want your audience specifically looking for that, put quotes on your keywords. It's a little bit of a ninja tactic, but I don't go completely, I've never used quotes because I want to make sure it's a broad keyword match.
So in that instance, my example of Tabata workouts for young adults, if someone wants only young adults to find it, won't they have to put quotes? If you're looking for Tabata workouts but not young adults, won't it be served to you?
So as an instance, if I were using the 7 keyword slots and I have quotes on that particular item, that means I want specifically the people that are typing that into the search engine to be delivered to that. But you're really there's no broad keyword match. It needs to be precisely what you have written in that keyword slot. So remember that. KDP actually covers this in their FAQs. Good Lord, my goodness, here we go. Sorry, technical difficulties here, folks. Pillow just fell on my stuff. There we go. We're only live on air. Forget about it. All right. Here's one of Kelly's favorite ways of doing things.
Auto-suggest or predictive search. On any website, Google, Amazon, whatever, you start typing, YouTube's, whatever, you start typing in something and other stuff falls down. So that's what I call predictive search or auto-suggest. And that's what I use for my keywords. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. I mean, there's no other way to, they're telling you precisely what the audience wants when you get the predictive search. Most times I would recommend using incognito mode, but in some instances, if you're kind of going for the quick and dirty, just open up your browser and just get it that way. All right. Organically work in your keywords that you use in your 7 keyword slots into your ad copy, aka your book description. Now, there's many arguments on one camp or the other. They say that, well, the stuff in your book description is not searchable through Amazon's algorithm, and other people say it is. Bottom line is this, is the ad copy that you put, your book description, is indexable in Google. So try it out one of these times. Try to search up based on your keywords in Google. And if you can get served through Google and start to make sales through that search, you're gonna have a big win on your side. So better safe than sorry. Try to work those into your ad, and it also further validates to your potential customer when they're going through the ad copy and they've searched up, say, Tabata fitness workouts for young adults. They see this is the best collection of Tabata fitness workouts for young adults. Boom. This is exactly what I was looking for. So this is one of the best ways to kind of double down on what you have in your 7 keyword slots. This is one I want to kind of speak on because Kelly's not big on ads, right, Kelly?
Nope.
She doesn't like Amazon advertising. I think it was Ho Tren was talking inside the group that she doesn't do Amazon advertising either. And I'm not trying to sell anybody on Amazon advertising. Marco Motino gave a lot of great information. If you don't want to do Amazon advertising, that's totally cool. But for those of you that are utilizing Amazon advertising, if you are using manual keyword ads and you start to see a pattern of clicks on a particular keyword that you use, as well as sales, some good sales conversions on a particular keyword, you're going to start to see exactly what your audience is using to search you up. So this is what I'll do. If I see a winning keyword on Amazon advertising and I don't already have it in a 7 keyword slots or inside my book description, I try to work that in there because it shows that I'm getting great conversions on this particular keyword. It really does help out, but I would just recommend tweak it a little at a time. Don't just go run an ad campaign for the next 30 days and be like, I'm gonna change all 7 of my keywords, and then you're kind of going, so anything else you wanna add to that, Kelly? Awesome. Kelly.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink it. This is like literally, it's the best practices as well as some of the misunderstandings. People overthink it. Don't overthink it. You get a lot of people that just get really hamstrung. They think there's just like this silver bullet, that there's this keyword that's going to unlock the wealth of self-publishing and all indie authors and you will win big. It just doesn't work that way. Sometimes the best stuff happens when you just throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. I got that one from our good friend Darren. Darren always says, throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. By the way, big shout out to Darren.
32,000 books later.
Yes. Here's the biggest tip. You ready for this one? Are you ready? I don't know if they're ready for this one. Here we go. Peer review. This, I see so many people that are like, this is my niche. My niche. No one takes my niche. No one gets to see it. By closing yourself off to the world, you are literally going alone. You're doing it solo. I would really recommend that you find some people that you can trust, some peers, some people that are in this business and have your best interests at heart, and start to network with them. Because by networking with them, you're going to discover that, okay, hey, could you take a look at my 7 keyword slots and let me know what you think? And they will probably give you some other ideas. Great example was yesterday at twitch.tv/self-publish, we were talking about keywords, and we were looking at one of our fellow self-publishers as well as supporters here, and she had some decent keywords, but other people were able to contribute in there. I know Keith Wheeler was in there, and a big shout out to you, Keith, and I don't have my gifts ready. Here you go. Keith Wheeler! Keith was able to throw in some other ideas that were a little bit outside the box we hadn't thought of. And that's the thing is, when you network with other professionals, you're going to build some great relationships, and they're going to start to tell you what they honestly think. And when they can tell you that, you're going to start to up your game, and you're going to improve at things like keyword selection, keyword research, and so on. Alrighty. So we blazed through that. How do you research Amazon Kindle keywords for your KDP ebook and print book? What has worked for you so far? And what would you recommend? We definitely would love to hear from you. And of course, today we're starting to roll in to the final portion of everything. So you know, we've got word of the day for all you in the replay as well as in the chat here. Today's word of the day. Define and use this word in a sentence to prove you've made it this far. Superlative. Superlative. Do you consider me superlative?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. She's not going to tell you. All right, so if you've made it this far, make sure you drop that inside the chat and, of course, put that on in to a sentence. Let's see who can come up with a good original sentence. That is the keywords revealed. We definitely want to start to talk a little bit to the chat. So do we have any questions, concerns, and comments, Kelly?
I'll get back with you in a second. I'm trying to figure out the definition.
Superlative? Oh, don't worry about the definition.
I want to know if people are right. Let's see, what is going on? Hello to everyone that I did not get to say hi to before. Does Amazon use the same keyword strategy for all of their products? Nafis, I am not certain. Last time I did physical products, Amazon FBA, I used a different strategy, but you learn as time. Right. You learn as time goes on, so I'm not sure if that was just me knowing the wrong strategy or if things have changed. As far as KDP and merch goes, I use very similar strategies. Excuse me.
Yeah, so and keep in mind too as well, it's an algorithm and they are programming it and trying to tweak it and make it better, so it becomes more sophisticated, and hopefully it does become more sophisticated by the day. It's nowhere near as sophisticated as, say, Google's search engine, but Amazon's algorithm is improving, and the more that it has customer feedback, the more it's able to kind of tweak what it does. So keywords are going to be always going to be something that's going to be a part of any walk of life on the online business, and this is one of the reasons why I always tell people is, diversify what you're doing in your business, so that way if for some reason the search engine kind of goes wonky on you, you've already got a backup plan on another platform, so that way you aren't completely going broke and having to go donate blood or plasma to put food on the table. I don't want that to happen to any one of you. I did see, by the way, Dan Norton, great to see you. He said, live. I love it. I love it. Good to see you. First time I've seen you here. I went to art school, learned no words.
What is a good CPC? I run one with 11 cents and no one bought anything. Am I being too cheap?
Here's something that Marco had shared in his interview, and he typically starts out right about 12 to 15 cents cost per click on your Amazon advertising campaigns. You ready for this? Brace yourselves. I'm so cheap sometimes, I'll start out at 5 cents and I'll gradually increase it. Over in the UK, Amazon Advertising UK is dirt cheap. Don't sleep on it. I know some of you have had some issues in getting access to Amazon Advertising UK as well as in Canada. This is something that Marco actually discusses in their course. So I don't want to give it away freely to anybody because otherwise he's going to beat me up. And, Marco's kind of intimidating, isn't he?
No.
No, she's like, he's actually a really nice guy, which, by the way, what's up, Marco?
Was I going to write? Joanna Fonseca, write in Portuguese or English? I can only sell 2 books a day max in Portuguese.
Are they asking whether we should write in Portuguese or English? Because obviously a larger portion of the profits are probably going to go towards, English speaking, but I think that there's a great opportunity in the Portuguese speaking books. I know that I have quite a few books in Portuguese that bring in a little bit of extra cheddar per month for me. So pretty happy about that. As far as, selling only 2 books a day and max in Portuguese, that's really awesome. I would say take a step back. You're still going to use the same practices that you would for keyword research, but you're going to want to make sure that you go to the appropriate market. So for Portuguese, I would recommend going over to Amazon.br, otherwise known as the Amazon Brazil marketplace. So make sure that you're going in there. Once again, AutoSuggest does the same thing. Also, just so everybody knows this, when you go to do your searching and you're doing it manually, I recommend that you go into the appropriate category. So if it's in Kindle store, go into Kindle store. If it's in books, go into books. So that way you're getting the precise words that are of value on your particular publications that you're doing. Great question. I like that.
Kathy asks, who's the oldest in this group?
Who's the oldest between the two of us or in everybody here?
And everyone there.
In everyone there? I
Maybe
don't know.
it's not a question I should have asked out loud.
John Wasser already, he's just like 76, beat that. Which, by the way, John, I haven't washed your shirt yet, so that's why it hasn't made its debut. It's still inside the dirty pile. I'm not trying to smell like pickles right now.
Merchant Words, Google Keyword Planner, KDP Rocket, which is better for AMS campaigns?
I personally like KDP Rocket, and it's improved by the day. Dave Chesson's very attuned to what the audience and market needs. And more recently, which by the way, don't want to freak anybody out, browse paths are starting to go away. And Amazon's starting to collapse them down into just one single solitary category. So, and this is where Dave comes into play. I've already gotten my money back for the $97 for the KDP Rocket, which by the way, I do have an affiliate link down inside the video description. So that means that if you purchase it, I get a certain percentage of profits on that one, but this does not influence my opinion about KDP Rocket. I really do like it. Now, I don't know anything about Merchant Words though.
I don't use external stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, she's not all about the software. She's kind of like the Mickelson twins. And the twins don't use software. They kind of just do it, pretty much themselves. And they even say so in their course. They're like, you don't need any kind of keywords or keyword software. For me, I like it. I've actually, if you guys tune in to me on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at noon, that's Eastern Daytime. If you go on over to Twitch, there's going to be some times where I'll pull up the KDP Rocket. So actually, I did pull that out. And if you want to kind of get just like a free demo, I'd show you on over there on Twitch. So join me on that.
How to resurrect a dead book.
Ooh, how to resurrect a dead book. Get out a good shovel. There's so many factors. I would say start with one thing at a time. One of the best ways to find out what's, holding your book back is running an Amazon advertising campaign, because impressions to clicks to sales is a good way to diagnose what's going on with your book. So if you get a ton of impressions but no clicks, that means your book cover needs a little bit of work. If you're getting a ton of impressions and clicks but very few sales, then that means your book description or your price point need a little bit of work. Tweak one at a time on this. And then if you have impressions to clicks to sales doing really well, that tells you that you're doing really, really well. But in this particular instance, if you started running ads on Amazon advertising, you probably, don't need to resurrect a dead book. That's one of my favorite ways. I actually had a book that was garbage. It was in like the millions at the very beginning of this year. And this wasn't my own book. It was one of the ghostwritten brands that I have. And it literally went into the millions, into, profiting into the the BSR was probably in the 20 to 40,000 range for ebooks, and it was below 100,000 inside the print books. So Amazon advertising, don't rest on it. It's dirt cheap. Get it while you can, because I'm going to tell you, about another 5 years from now, it's not going to be as cheap. It will not.
Angelique Goodmanson, hi guys, I would love to know more about Amazon advertising UK. How can I know more about the course you mentioned with Marco?
You can take a look. Actually, there is literally all you got to do is type up self-publishing with Dale and Marco. That's Marco over in YouTube, and you'll find a couple of videos as well as a playlist. You can see that, and also my playlists on the YouTube channel, where it actually has a full thing. I'm going to tell you this: Marco gave so much stinking value that literally, if you can't afford his course, I get it. I totally understand. But you are going to get enough information that will equip you with enough to get started. So, and you can also take a look over at selfpublishingwithdale.com/AMS course. Excuse me. It's the old way, Amazon Marketing Services. I'm just going to leave the pretty link as is. So AMS course is what you'll be looking for. That's selfpublishingwithdale.com/AMS course. Love that course. It's probably one of my favorites, along with the twins. Those two really are just the best courses I've seen released this year yet.
I just dropped a playlist down there with Marco Mutino.
Yeah.
So that should give you some awesome information. And Anjali, if you still have more questions, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. And Marco's going to be, he's going to be releasing his service here really soon. He's been talking about it in the Self-Publishing Books group over on Facebook. So make sure that you join in there, and he'll be dropping some 411. If you find that you are strapped for time, but you have a little bit of discretionary expense, this might be an option that you can take advantage of. And it sounds to me like Marco's going to be doing first come, first serve for this particular service. Which, awesome. He's got a really, really good service. It's Urban Writers. I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way. No affiliate on it. Urban Writers, like he showed us some covers when we were out in LA. Whew. Them covers.
Yes.
Yes. That's all I got to say is them covers. So look up Urban Writers. They do book covers as well. And I like them. I'm going to be ordering some from them here next week.
Cool.
All right, anybody else on here? So, hey, it's been a really, really good time. I always enjoy my Thursdays with you folks. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Daytime. That's Greenwich Mean Time -4 here pretty soon. We're going to be falling back 1 hour. So it's going to mess some of you up out there that aren't dealing with daylight savings time. So how can people get a hold of you, Kelly? Huh?
Find me on Kelly Publish on YouTube's. Oh, my site's live. KellyPublish.com.
Go to kellypublish.com. That's KELLI publish.com. All right. Well, hey, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure that you hit that little thumbs up and share it with somebody else who would enjoy it too. In the meantime, in between time, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale.
And Kelly.
And we will see you next Thursday.